Students, let's know about while loop. The while loop is the simplest of all looping structures. In general, this loop can be applied to a program where the number of iterations is not known beforehand. The while loop keeps on executing the block of statements as long as the specified test condition evaluates to true. While loop has four main components. Initialization. It is used to assign an initial value to the loop control variable. Example, a equals to 10. Condition or test expression. This statement checks whether the loop body will be further executed or not. The loop keeps executing till the condition or the text expression is true. Loop body. It contains the set of statements that are required to iterate or repeat step value. This statement keeps updating the loop control variable so that a final value is achieved and the loop terminates. Students, you must provide an initial value to the loop variable to execute the loop smoothly. Syntax, initialization, while, condition, loop body, updation. Let us understand the working of the while loop with the help of the following examples. Program 11. To print the first 10 natural numbers. Step 1. Initialize the variable I to 0. Step 2. Check the condition whether I is smaller than equal to 10. Step 3. If I is smaller than equal to 10, print the value of I. Step 4. Increment the value of I by 1, that is, I equals to I plus 1. Step 5. This process will continue till the value of I is less than or equal to 10. The loop will terminate once the value of I becomes greater than 10. Program 12. To print the square of numbers between 10 to 20. Step 1. The variable I is assigned an initial value 10. Step 2. The condition I is smaller than 20 is checked. Step 3. If the condition evaluates to true, then the statement print I into I is executed. Step 4. Each time the loop executes, the value of I is incremented by 1. Step 5. The control shifts back to the while loop. The while condition is checked again. If the condition is true, then steps 3 and 4 are repeated, and if the condition is false, the while loop terminates. Program 13. To print the multiples of 3 and their sum in the range 10 to 30. Step 1. The variable I is assigned an initial value 10. Step 2. The variable S is assigned an initial value 0. It will store the sum of all the multiples of 3. Step 3. The condition I is smaller than equal to 30 is checked. Step 4. If the condition evaluates to true, then the if statement checks whether the variable is multiple of 3 or not. Step 5. If the condition is true, then the counter variable is printed and is added to the previous value of S. Step 6. Each time the loop executes, the value of I is incremented by 1. Step 7. The control shifts back to the while loop. The while condition is checked again. If the condition is true, then steps 4, 5 and 6 are repeated. And if the condition is false, then the while loop terminates. Step 8. The final value of S is printed. Program 14. To print the table of a number. Step 1. The user is asked to enter a number of his choice. Step 2. The initial value 1 is assigned to the variable I. Step 3. The while condition I is smaller than equal to 10 will be checked. Step 4. If the condition evaluates to true, the statements after the while condition are executed and the product of n and I is printed. Step 5. The value of I is incremented by 1. Step 6. The control shifts back to the while loop. The while condition is checked again. If the condition is true, then steps 4 and 5 are repeated, and if the condition is false, the while loop terminates. Program 15. To create a program displaying no output when the test condition is false. In the above example, as the initial value of I, 10 is greater than 1, the condition will return false and hence the loop body will not be executed even once. Hence, you do not get any output. Students, now let us learn about infinite loop. An infinite loop or endless loop is a sequence of instructions in a computer program which loops endlessly. It happens either due to the loop having no terminating condition or having the condition that can never be met. Let's consider the following example. Program 16. To create a program displaying endless loop. In the given example, as per the condition, the loop will continue until the value of I is greater than or equal to 1. In the updation part, we are incrementing the value of I by 1 at every step, and hence the loop variable I will always be greater than 1. This means that at no time will the loop variable be less than 1, and hence the loop body will execute finitely. To come out of the finite loop, you have to terminate the interactive mode or program execution by closing the interactive mode window. Students note that if the control variable does not get updated to a final value, the condition remains true forever and the loop continues infinitely.